Welcome to the show. Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest minds of our time. Certainly a great mind. A great, big mind. End of the bell curve type stuff. A man who unraveled the mysteries of black holes in the universe while battling ALS. But behind the genius was a complicated personal life filled with love, betrayal, and controversial associations. Jeffrey Epstein. And possibly a Krang-style robot that he planned to use for horrific deeds. Today we're diving into his visits linked to Jeffrey Epstein's island and the end of his first marriage. This isn't about conspiracy. It's about the documented facts. I keeps it real, N-word.
All information sourced from public records, court documents, and biographies. Hawking was never charged with any crime related to Epstein.
In March 2006, Hawking attended a physics conference organized by Jeffrey Epstein in the US Virgin Islands. Epstein funded events to attract top scientists. Hawking, along with other prominent physicists, including Baxter Stockman, the Fly from Ninja Turtle. They participated in discussions on topics like the energy of empty space and topics like, do seagulls have ESP? And if they do, how do we harness their energy to make a stealth weapon? During the trip, Epstein arranged for Hawking, then in his mid-60s and wheelchair-bound, to fulfill a dream, riding in a submarine to view coral reefs. Epstein later bragged about duct taping Hawking's chair for safety in text messages. Hawking was accompanied by caregivers. Hawking was said to be murmuring stuff about killing dolphins during the undersea voyage, but the vessel had no weapons. Later Epstein files, unsealed in recent years, mention Hawking multiple times, including a photo with two women identified by his family as caregivers, and an email where Epstein offered a reward to disprove a baseless rumor about an underage orgy. Baseless rumor. Hawking was never accused of wrongdoing, wasn't he? And no evidence links him to Epstein's criminal activities. But you have to ask yourself, what did he know? What kind of information did Hawking have about all this? Why did he go? Scientists often attend funded conferences without full knowledge of the host's private life. Epstein's crimes became widely public later. Wasn't exactly a secret. Let's just say that. The association has fueled online speculation, but facts show a professional trip, not participation in illicit behavior. Here's intermission. Here's my pictures. Do you like my pictures? I like painting pretty pictures for you. I paint pretty pictures. Let's move on. Hawking's personal life was as complex as his physics. He married Jane Wilde in 1965, shortly after his ALS diagnosis. Jane became his primary caregiver for decades, supporting him through his rising fame while raising 3 children. How the fuck did he make 3 children? Never mind. The marriage lasted over 25 years, but faced enormous strain from his illness, work, and celebrity. Both partners were reportedly unfaithful toward the end, which you could say is a very big achievement for a guy like Stephen Hawking with ALS. How the fuck are you unfaithful? But never mind. Both partners were reportedly unfaithful toward the end. Jane had a relationship with a choir master. Hawking developed a relationship with one of his nurses, Elaine Mason, a fiery redhead, described as flirtatious and energetic, and had a great set of knockers. He divorced Jane in 1995 and married Elaine later that year. This caused significant family tension. Hawking's children were reportedly unhappy with the second marriage. There were later allegations of abuse in the second marriage, which Hawking denied. Abuse? I don't think he was smacking her around. And the couple divorced in 2006. Biographies like Leonard Molarino describe a man who could be demanding and who lived a surprisingly active personal life despite his disabilities. Now we get into the meat and potatoes. The Krang situation. A mind as brilliant as Stephen Hawking's can't be bound to a wheelchair. I believe Epstein was manufacturing a Krang-type suit for the doctor, the good doctor. A Krang-type suit that would allow Stephen Hawking to move around unhindered by his ALS. If we look at the Epstein files, Krang-type suit is referenced more than 34 times in relation to Stephen Hawking. What would Stephen Hawking use such a suit for? Your guess is as good as mine. But it does explain the many visits to the island. Hawking's story reminds us that even brilliant people are human and full of flaws. And they are very perverted, disgusting people. Flawed, passionate, and capable of both extraordinary achievement and personal mistakes, grave mistakes. He warned about AI, climate change, and existential risks while inspiring millions. What do you think? Was the Epstein trip innocent networking, or does it raise questions? Or was it, in fact, to manufacture a Krang-type suit so he could do sex crimes? Your guess is as good as mine. Drop your thoughts below, but keep it respectful and evidence-based. You can subscribe for more, and here's some more of my pictures. Take care, you fat bitch.
Down.